Good morning, everyone. My name is Lydia. Thank you so much for coming to Lydia's Family Life, for coming back to my channel. So today we are starting another week of No Spend January, eating from our pantry, freezer, and fridges, and we're just trying to use up what we have, at the same time replenishing and stocking up on deals and sales from our store. All right, so for Saturday morning, me and Noah are having, what are we having, Noah?
Raspberries and cheese and cottage cheese.
Yeah. So you can take your bowl, you can go eat. And we did end up finishing this container of cottage cheese. And we still have quite a bit of raspberries and chia seeds. But here is my bowl. I did warm up the raspberries in the microwave just a little bit because they're super frozen, obviously. All right, guys. So what's going on this Saturday morning? We have a lot to do. We have the cabbage rolls to do. And then my husband brought this box of peppers from the garage that I showed you guys we had earlier because they're starting to go bad. Some of them are going bad. See, like that one is rotten. He's going through them. So what he's doing, what are you doing, babe?
I'm gonna put it on the barbecue.
He's gonna roast them. And then he's gonna take the skin off, right?
Yes.
And then what you do is you let them cool completely afterwards. There's another rotten one. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put them in freezer bags. And then when you want it, you just take them out, you slice them up, put a little bit of vinegar and oil and salt, and you eat it like a side salad. They're so, so good. All right, guys, so this is what I'm going to be using up to make cabbage rolls. It's quite a bit of things, lots of ingredients. First, we have rice. We're not going to use the whole rice because that would be insane. We'll use part of that. We have some paprika, salt and pepper, and then ideally you would want to use fresh dill. I don't have any, so I will use dry dill, which is fine because I need to go through that. And then we have lots and lots of onion because this just makes the cabbage rolls taste so good. We have some garlic. This is ground pork that my husband grounded up. We found at Fred Meyer's a couple months ago. Oh, it says December. I think the end of November, beginning of December, so not too long ago. Shoulder pork, I think it was butt pork, I'm not sure. It was 63 cents a pound, and we bought a lot, and he made ground pork out of it. So that's great. We have some bacon crumbles to saute up with the onions. We have ground turkey. We have this ham that was in the freezer as well, and that I'm going to put in with the onions and bacon just to give it flavor. We have a huge piece of ham, which I have a lot of those that need to be used up from last year, and that I'm just going to slice up and put in between the cabbage rolls. We have more ground turkey meat that needs to be used up. This is some tomato paste from the freezer, and then I'm going to use up some of the parsley. I have this huge can of diced tomatoes. It is 6 pounds. I'm going to open that up and I'm going to puree it with my NutriBullet, and then I'm going to put it in little Ziploc bags in the freezer, what I don't use, and then I just use it for my soups or anything that calls for tomato paste or any tomato product. And then over here, I have, this is pickled cabbage from my mom. I need to take the cabbage and I need to soak it in water and wash it off before I put everything together. So here's the cabbage rolls. I filled up that whole pot. And then what I'm doing here is I'm just dissolving this better than bouillon beef in here, and I'm going to put it in this water just to give it some extra flavor. And I did salt my water and put some tomato paste. And then here is the process with the peppers. My husband's still working at it. All right, so I got 10 of these little, I love you too, Noah. I got 10 of these little bags of the tomato puree. And I just use these Ziploc bags that I get from Dollar Tree, and you get 45 for $1. Obviously, they're snack bags, so they're not as big as like the sandwich bags, but they work perfect for these. And I'm not going to bother putting these in freezer Ziploc bags because I go through them. I use them a couple times a week. I go through them quickly enough, and so I won't do that. So I'm just going to put these straight in the freezer. All right, so I ended up having one Ziploc bag full of cabbage rolls stuffed and ready to go in the freezer, and these are not cooked. I will take them out, thaw them out, and cook them. And then I have some of the meat, the mixture, And this you can use for cabbage rolls, or I can also make the meatball soup that I usually make, ciorbe de perișoare. That's what it's called in Romania, so I think I can do that. And then with all of this, I am going to chop it up into little pieces. We're going to put in a Tupperware in the fridge because this essentially is just sauerkraut. And then whenever we want to eat it like on a side, this is really good with like fried potatoes or whatnot. You just put a little bit of olive oil and it's like a side salad. It's really delicious. So everything gets utilized. We don't throw anything away. And I feel like we got a lot accomplished today. My husband's in the background washing the dishes for me. Okay, you guys, moment of truth. I took one out to cool. They have been simmering for a while now on low. They smell really, really good. So let's cut into one and see. That's what it looks like. And it's really good with just a little bit of sour cream and some bread, if that's what you like. And we will be eating this. It is 12:19, pretty much all day today. And then we are hoping to have leftovers, which we should, because this is a huge pot. Hi, you guys. It is Sunday, and we have been eating on cabbage rolls all day. And now for dinner, the kids made grilled cheese sandwiches with the bread we took out of the freezer that was reduced. Are you having fun,
I'm
Noah?
trying to sketch.
And Noah's sipping on a coconut water, and then he also made some brownies and a cake with David, and David put that in the fridge, and I'll show you guys when it's like all put together what that looks like. But they're having grilled cheese for dinner. Good morning, everyone. It is Monday morning. I got out these sausages from the freezer. We have a ton of those. And then these 2 bags of stir fry have been in my fridge, and they are literally on their last leg. So what I plan on doing is making the stir fry with these sausages for breakfast. Noah went through 1 coconut drink and then part of this one last night. And they got out some chocolates that they've been snacking on. What do you want to say?
Hi.
Hi, good morning. Lucas wants, what do you want for breakfast?
Boiled a little bit raw in yolk.
Yeah, so just soft boiled eggs, and I have my coffee going, and then he's gonna use some of these eggs from my mom's house, from her chickens. So that's what's going on Monday. I have some chicken thighs in the sink thawing out. I want to make like a crock pot teriyaki chicken with those. All right, so Lucas is getting his water. You gotta turn on the stove. How many eggs are you gonna make?
Probably like 4.
Let me see your hand. His eczema is flaring up. So it is the season because it's colder outside. We just have to make sure we put lots of lotion on it. And I do need to make some other homemade detergent that I make with the Young Living. I use that as a starter base, and I make my own. I'll have to do that. And let me show you guys my coffee. It's looking good. It's this mug is from my best friend. It says sending prayers. Love it. And yeah, he's gonna make himself some.
Hey guys, so it's David. So for Monday's lunch, I made some stir fry, and we have some Italian sausages cooking in the air fryer, and we're gonna eat that for lunch. The final product, it does look small for teenager to eat, but don't worry, I'll be coming for more. But yeah, it's very
So David only made up 1 bag of the stir fry. So I'm making the second one because he pretty much ate that all by himself. And then I have these peas that I'm going to throw in here as well. Over here, I have my chicken thighs that I thawed out from the freezer last night. And I just put them with a little bit of salt and vinegar. And I will wash them off. And over here, I'm sorry, you guys, I should have laid everything out so you guys could see what I'm using. I have 2 chicken thighs, 3 carrots, 2 celery stalks, and then the ends of parsley. I just use the ends for stalks. And then 2 garlic cloves, salt, pepper, and an onion. And I'm going to skim this off and make chicken broth because I'm making chicken soup. And I have my mom's noodles that are in a bag on top of my fridge. So we'll get those used up. And then with the rest of the chicken, I'm going to touch it and take the skin off, which you guys know I hate touching meat, but my husband's at work. So I'm going to put it in a Ziploc bag and let it marinate with this teriyaki sauce that I have in my stockpile. I believe this was from Costco. I'm not not sure. I think it was. And I don't see the best by date. It doesn't even matter. Even if it's past the best by date, it'll be fine. And then I have these chunk pineapples. I'm going to put some of these in it and maybe a little bit of the syrup and try to make like a sweet pineapple teriyaki chicken. I know we bought something like that from Costco and we used up and it was super delicious. This is still within its best by date. And this I got at Dollar Tree. If you haven't gotten any food products from Dollar Tree, especially canned goods, I think you should look into it. Not everything is a good deal there on their canned goods, but some stuff is. Like I feel like this for $1 for pineapple is good. And then I wanted to show you guys, my husband's used like 4 of the cabbages from the box of cabbage that we have in our garage. He's been cutting them up and making like a slaw, and he took it to work. He's been taking it to work and he loves it, and I need him to make a video next time he does that. This is what was left over from a whole cabbage that he took to work. So he's been using those up. All those green peppers we have sauteed, or not sauteed. We cooked them up on the barbecue, skimmed them and froze them. So we'll use those later. And then we have a lot of cabbage rolls, which we have to think of what we're going to do. I think I'm going to leave some out for my husband, and the rest I'm going to freeze because the kids just didn't go through them as quickly as I thought they would. Here is the stir fry that's left over, and then the sausages in the air fryer. So quite a bit of food. The spaghetti was all gone. I made a lot of cabbage rolls, you guys, so we kind of got sick of them. We've been eating on them, but we kind of got sick of them. So we'll freeze them, and then when we're hungry for them and craving them, we just take them out and warm them up. So I'll show you guys when the soup is done and the chicken. I've never made this. I hope it turns out. I think it should. I'm going to take the skin off, poke some holes so that the marinade can really get into it. Maybe throw in some garlic cloves with it. Why not? And see how it turns out. The chicken, I skinned it, poked some holes in it, put a little bit of salt and pepper. I put that whole can of pineapple chunks, and I did take some of the juice out, and I put a little bit of the juice, but not too much. And then this is how much of the marinade I used. We have quite a bit, so we'll just transfer this into our fridge and use it again. I hope this is a hit because, like I said, when we bought it from Costco, it was really, really delicious. So I want to keep this in my fridge to marinate. I think it would be really good in the slow cooker, honestly, but I want to make this for dinner with maybe a side of rice. And I have some canned green beans in my fridge that I had opened there. So I need to make like a green bean casserole. It was like a 6-pound can when I opened it, and I didn't use it all a couple weeks ago. So those need to be used up sometime this week. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that today. But this already smells so good. I think it's going to be so delicious. The bone is still in there. I took some of the chicken skins that I peeled off, about 3 of them, and I threw them in the soup just to make the broth a little bit richer. So that might sound gross to some of you guys, but it's just, we're trying not to waste, and you get a good broth out of it. So it's going to be delicious. Okay, this goes in the fridge, and we'll figure out what we're making next. Here is the soup. Here is the 2 chicken thighs that were in there. The skins I threw already and discarded. So I strained the soup. I took out the carrots and I chopped them up and I put them back in, and I added some more parsley from the freezer. These are my mom's homemade noodles. They're absolutely delicious. So it's essentially just chicken broth with noodles, carrots, and parsley. So out of a box of around $3 of bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs, I was able to make soup. And I was also able to have some extra broth right here, which I'm just letting cool down, and I'm going to put it in a recycled jar in the freezer so we can have chicken broth in the freezer. And I was also able to have the other chicken marinated. So we get 2 meals. And actually, I am going to make some white rice next to that. So I might just use this broth to put in the rice. We'll see. And maybe not even freeze it at all. So there's that. There's a little bit more of the stir fry left. It's around 2 o'clock. My husband came home early from lunch. His is with the chicken. My son doesn't like it with the chicken. So he's going to have his soup just like that. And that's what we're having for lunch, you guys. It smells really good. It's super cold outside. It's been raining. It's been just nasty. So this is going to... So I decided to go the crock pot route with the chicken. I was thinking of doing it in the oven, but I just put it on high. It is almost 3 o'clock. It'll be perfect. I think it'll be done for dinner. So I just plopped it in there. It had a little bit of time to marinate in the fridge, and I think it's gonna turn out so good. And I plan on making white rice and using some of that chicken broth to flavor the rice. Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday morning, and the kids are having cinnamon toast crunch, and we are out of milk. We've been out of milk. So I had this macadamia milk, shelf-stable milk in the pantry, and I think I have one coconut milk as well, and that's about it unless I find more, but I think that's all we have for milk. So if I'm going tomorrow grocery shopping, which I plan on going because the ads are changing tomorrow, I need to stock up on milk, you guys. This week the kids have been eating cereal like plain without anything, and then I brought this in, so they've been using that, so that's good. We still haven't finished the cinnamon toast crunch, but they're working on it and it's almost done and out of the pantry. I want to show you guys, my kids went through this jar of Nutella. They used it up. That's another thing out of our pantry. It's Tuesday morning, and I wanted to show you guys the leftovers. We still have a little bit of the soup, quite a bit actually, and then we still have a little bit of the rice that I made, and then just a little bit of that teriyaki pineapple sauce, 2 more of the chicken thighs, and one Italian sausage. So that's going to be a good meal. And just so you guys understand, I made 4 cups of rice in my rice cooker, and this is all that's left over. These are the leftover cabbage rolls. We have quite a bit. I'm going to put these in the freezer. We are all cabbage rolled out. We ate a little bit here and there yesterday, but not very much. I showed you guys the Nutella. They finished that, and this is going to be good lunches and maybe somebody's dinner, but it's not going to be enough because this is going in the freezer. So I'm not sure. I need to pull out something else for dinner for tonight. I know my husband's going to definitely want soup. It's very cold and rainy, so when he gets home from work, he'll definitely want some warm soup. This is probably going to be David's lunch. So yeah, I got to figure something out. Coming back at you guys, I think I figured out a meal plan. I have these 2 jars of green beans. When I made a green bean casserole, I opened up a big can. It was 6 pounds of green beans. So these have been sitting in my fridge. I have just a few crispy fried onions in each of these bags. I'm going to use up this Campbell cream of mushroom and some of this milk to make a green bean casserole. And I figured since I have the oven going, we'll probably make these crescent rolls. I'm not sure if I have more. It would be nice if I had more so I can make more. And then I figured for lunch we can do soup, leftover soup with hot dogs. So I had the hot dogs and the bread in the freezer. So we'll do that. And then I took out these Kansas City style ribs. I'm just going to thaw them out a little bit. And then I'm going to throw them in the crock pot. And you can see these were $23.60, but I get them when you buy one, get one set free at Kroger. And I stocked up on a lot of these. I have Chipotle, Kansas City, different spices, everything. You can cook it in this bag if you want to in the oven, but I like to just throw them in the crock pot. So once these thaw out enough to kind of cut them and throw them in there, that's what I'm going to do. And then I plan on making homemade mashed potatoes. So we'll use up lots of potatoes, some butter, some more. Well, actually, I can use my half and half from the one that I have in the fridge that I use for my coffee for the mashed potatoes, the buns for the hot dog bread. We still have this salad, and it's still looking okay. I've had it for over a week, like 2 weeks in my fridge, I want to say, so it's time to use that up. I also had these in my fridge, and these I got for free from Safeway with a digital coupon. This is not going to be enough for everyone, so I'm just going to make it and maybe add some olive oil and butter or something, garlic powder, garlic. I don't have garlic powder, so it'd have to be garlic, Italian seasoning, and just make like a little side for someone to eat for lunch. And I want to show you guys, my kids are snacking nonstop. We have these chewy bars. You guys saw the Nutella. I can't film everything they're snacking on, but a massive amount of food is being eaten and used up, and that's fine because we don't eat out very much. So obviously we eat from home, but I have 2 teenagers. So I have a 16-year-old, a 15-year-old, an 8-year-old, and an almost 7-year-old. So they're going through food a lot, and 2 of them, one is homesick and the other one is home because he only has 1 hour of school, like in person, and then the rest is online. And then my husband takes food from home for lunch for work, and I'm home, so we go through a lot of food. So this is the plan. I kind of got the dishwasher started, and I figured, let me put a plan together and start thawing things out. This would have been great if I had this thawed out last night, but I didn't. That's just how life goes. It can't always be perfect, but yeah, I'll show you guys once I put everything together what it looks like. Tuesday morning's breakfast, I took 2 of these little street tacos tortillas and I sauteed them up with some avocado oil spray, and I did some scrambled eggs with some cheddar cheese and a little bit of this salsa, and that is what I'm having for breakfast. And it smells really good. The potatoes, I peeled and cubed a few. I'm gonna do the rest of these and see if I need to do more. I have the green bean casserole in the oven. I used both of these crunchy fried onions, and this one there was just a few pieces. And then I have the crescent rolls right here. They don't look too pretty, but they'll be delicious. Honestly, I wish I would have had more. I ended up using the cream of mushroom soup, and then I also added a cream of chicken soup. I was able to use both jars of green beans and a little bit of milk as well. I put 1 can of this milk in the casserole, so I feel like we're getting a lot of things out of the pantry and the fridge for this casserole out. We still have tons of potatoes, and let me bring you guys over here. The ribs are in the crock pot. They have quite a bit to go. I put them on high for 6 hours. They'll probably be done in 4 hours, but that's going. The green bean casserole is in the oven going, and I'm not gonna put the crescent rolls in until a little bit later. And the mashed potatoes I'm not doing. I'm just getting them ready and keeping them in cold water, and then I'll make them up when the ribs are almost done. I went in my garage and I got some more potatoes just to add to this pot, and I will use some half and half butter, salt and pepper. And then I figure, since I'm doing the green bean casserole, kind of, it reminds me of Thanksgiving, so I have a lot of stuffing mix boxes in my stockpile, so I'm going to use 1, and this should be enough because not everyone in my family likes this. So I'll use this little onion, some garlic, some celery. And then what really got me going is this chicken stock has been in my freezer for a while and I need to use it up, so I'll use that instead of water. And I'm going to add some mushrooms, and normally I would add at least 2 cans of mushrooms to this, but I'm being really stingy because of all the shortages and everything. This is within date because I just got it not long ago, so it's good till 2025. Mushrooms are a great source of protein. They can replace meat. They're delicious. My whole family likes it. All my kids love mushrooms, and I'm really hoping when I go grocery shopping, if I go tomorrow, to really find some markdown mushrooms from Kroger. If not, I guess we'll just stick to the canned ones for now. But yeah, I'm gonna do this also. And this has plenty of time to thaw out because we're not eating this anytime soon. I finished prepping all the food. The potatoes are just all peeled and ready to go. They're cut up in cold water. And I sliced up 2 oranges. I washed them and sliced them up, and me and Lucas are gonna snack on those. For the stuffing, I have here, I opened, rinsed, drained and rinsed, and chopped up the mushrooms. I have the onion, garlic, and celery, and I'm just sauteing it with some butter. And then the recipe for the stuffing calls for 1.5 cups of chicken broth. And obviously I have way more in this. So I have a cup in here. I'll do another 1/2 cup, and then the rest we'll just keep in the fridge. It's still kind of frozen. I thawed it out in the microwave. And then a 1/2 stick of butter. So I'm making the stuffing. The ribs are not anywhere near to be done. The casserole turned out a little bit more runny than I would have wanted to, because I think I just had less beans and less of the French onion soup mix, and I used 2 of those cans. But you know what? We can just pour it over we can just put it over our mashed potatoes and use it like a gravy. If it's more runny, it'll still be delicious. So I'm just getting this stuffing done. If anybody wants to eat some of that green bean casserole with some stuffing, that's fine. The mashed potatoes are not done. The ribs I kind of just turned in here. Just kind of put the ones on the bottom on top and stuff. But people are getting hungry. My kids are outside jumping on the trampoline. Let me show you guys. They're jumping on the trampoline. They're playing outside because the rain kind of stopped for a few seconds. So they're going to be really hungry. So I figure they can have stuffing and the casserole while everything else gets done. Here's the mashed potatoes. Let's show you guys The stuffing situation, it's almost done. The kids ate on that with the green bean casserole. And then we have just a few crescent rolls because Noah's still not even home, or my husband. And we saved some for them. And of course the kids would have each liked to have like, I don't know, 5 each, but it's okay. They each got 1.5. So that's what's going on. The ribs are not anywhere near being done. That's what they look like. It is 3:20 and half the food is gone, but that's okay. And we're just kind of eating what we're eating. And then once these get done, we'll probably throw a side salad because I still have that salad in the fridge and call it good. So here is my husband's plate for Tuesday night's dinner. The ribs, the mashed potatoes, the stuffing. The stuffing is over here. And then the green bean casserole actually thickened up very nicely. I thought it was going to be a lot thinner, but it wasn't. Turned out perfect. It's very delicious. You guys. So this is the dinner. This is the rice, white rice. I made a huge thing of white rice in my rice cooker, and there's the pineapple chunks. I did make a slurry with cornstarch to thicken up the sauce, and then I took the chicken and I basted it with a little bit more teriyaki sauce, and I put it in the air fryer for just about 5 minutes on 400 degrees. And then I brought in a lemonade from our stockpile to use up, and that is what we're having. Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday morning, and I want to show you guys the kids finally finished up that cinnamon toast crunch. I have my coffee running, and I brought in another box from our stockpile. So yeah, we are definitely going through things that need to be used up. This is good till November of 2022, but it's been in our stockpile for a while, so happy that they're eating. You guys, I just opened up this Coconut Dream milk, and we are using this for our cereals because we're fresh out of milk. So this is what's going on, really going through our stockpile, and it looks like it was good till December 2021. I'm sure it'll be good. I'm gonna pour some out and see if it's all right. If it is, that's what we're gonna do. So Lucas is having the golden puffs with the coconut milk, and then Noah had the cinnamon toast crunch with the macadamia. So Wednesday for lunch, David made up some more of these Italian sausages. We're gonna use up the rest of these buns that were left over from the hot dogs from yesterday, and I'm gonna warm up some soup lunch. And I got all the mayo that I could out of this, so this is gonna go in the recycle bin. Another thing used out of our fridge, and eating leftovers, and this Italian sausage. It's smelling really good. It's actually really hot today. It's like 54 and sunny, but it's humid, so soup is like not my number one choice, but because we're doing the pantry challenge, I'm gonna go ahead and suck it up. Hey guys, so for dinner on Wednesday, I have all this ground beef. We're gonna do tacos, nachos, all kinds of deliciousness. I'm gonna do some taco rice, probably open up a can of pinto beans or refried beans. We'll see, but it's gonna be good. So I have a can of refried beans in here. I have a little bit of cheddar cheese that I'm gonna put with the beans, and then we have this Italian style blend cheese in the fridge. So because that's open, that's what we're gonna use for our nachos. We're gonna cut up some olives, put some of this queso sauce on them, pop them in the oven, and then I had different taco kits with different seasonings. So I have some taco seasoning and then some taco sauces that is gonna go in here. Lucas is helping me. The beans are just warming up, and then I'm also gonna do some north sides Spanish or taco rice. It's called taco rice. So these are the north sides that I'm gonna use, the taco rice, and I have 2 of them, so I have 4 cups of water coming to a boil with 3 tablespoons. Big bag of nachos. We're gonna use tortillas, to make nachos. I ended up using 3 packets of the taco seasoning because it was a lot of meat. I drained it once. I'm probably gonna drain it again, and I am going to get the water's just starting to boil and get these going. Attempting to make baked nachos. I just put the refried beans. I put some of the meat. We still have a lot. I put some queso and then some of the Italian cheese because I don't have any more cheddar. And I'm gonna throw this in the oven, under the broiler for just a little bit. And then Emma's chopping up olives, those olives from the can, and we have salsa and sour cream. and everyone can kind of put their own toppings. So I just pulled the nachos out. There's one tray, there's another, and they are nice and warm through. A little burn on the outside edges, but that's okay. I'm gonna have everyone put their favorite toppings, and then the rest of the meat we're just gonna eat as taco meat. We have lots of tortilla shells and taco shells, and I feel like this meal got, what do you think, Emma? It got rid of a lot of things from our fridge, our pantry, and so on. Stuff that's just been hanging around, like the cheese and stuff like that. So I'm really, yeah, and the chips. Yeah, we've had those for like over a month. So I'm super excited to use those up. So we will see you guys tomorrow for dinner.
Everyone, it is me, Lucas here. I just cooked up this chicken flavored ramen, and it is 12:24 right now, and that's what I'm having right now.
Hey everyone, it is Thursday afternoon, and I'm going to make shrimp with Alfredo pasta. So I have a little bit of the Italian cheese blend in there of cheese that I'm going to use up. And then I took out these 2 bags of shrimp from my freezer this morning. You can see they've been thawing out. And then I have 2 jars of Alfredo, some pasta. I'll be using garlic and butter. And then I also took out another bag of mozzarella that's been thawing out of cheese just to have in the fridge. And obviously we'll use some in the sauce. So let's get this put together. I still have that bagged salad. I have to see if it's good. We still haven't eaten it. And if it's good, then we will have that on the side. So let's get this put together. So I have a little bit of the avocado oil with the butter melting, and I'll put 1 bag of shrimp at a time. And I also found these 2 lemons, so I'll use some of the lemon juice. That's a great way to use those up. I probably won't use both, but at least 1 lemon or half of a lemon. And my kids are eagerly waiting. So I feel like we're using up quite a bit of stuff. And these 2 bags, because I took them, actually all these 3 bags, they took up a lot of room in the freezer. So I'm really excited to be using that up. Here is Thursday night's dinner. We have pasta Alfredo, the 2 bags of shrimp. I did end up adding some frozen parsley with the garlic and the butter at the end. And then the salad kits were still good. They've been hanging out in the fridge for a while, but they still look pretty good. So that is what we're having for dinner tonight. See you guys tomorrow. Here is Friday's breakfast: scrambled eggs on some tortillas and this avocado that I had to cut most of it off because it's been in my fridge for so long and it's turning dark, but I think it'll still be okay. So this is breakfast on Friday, and a little bit of cheese. You guys, we're gonna cut some of this. Lucas already warmed up his burritos. People who don't like sandwiches can have this or ramen. What are you gonna have, David? He doesn't know yet. Anyway, so that's what's going on, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, really quick, we're also snacking on those pretzels. They're super delicious with queso sauce. Everybody like it? Yeah.